ready to get started? Okay, I'm not going to be able to deal with all this. Can I get everyone to come onto their feet? Come up to standing. Hi, I'm Cassandra. Nice to meet you guys. How are y'all? Can I get you all to step off your mat and introduce yourself to a few people that you don't know? Yeah? All right. That warmed the space up a bit. So let's come back onto your own mats and come down to seated. Wow, what a beautiful morning here. We're so blessed to be back at the Tobin Center. How many of you guys, this is your first time to do yoga here? Yeah, anyone's first time to do yoga ever? Yeah, awesome, welcome. Amazing. Well, my name's, all right, I love it. Thank you guys for coming out. My name's Cassandra. I'm the founder of Mobile Om, and we're all about these mobile practices. We love to take yoga out of the confinements of the studio and bring it out into great spaces like this. So you'll notice there's some construction sounds, there'll be some natural sounds, all that, we're going to embrace it and use it in our practice to find our own center right here, right now. So let's start by finding that center seated. So from where you are, take the eyelids and close them. Kind of rock around on your sit bones a bit until you feel really grounded into the earth. Allow the hands to rest on the knees or in the lap, whichever is more comfortable for you. Taking a moment to center yourself and arrive right here. This beautiful Saturday morning in San Antonio. The last day of March. The day of a full moon. Lots of movement going on this weekend. So we're going to take a moment to create some still within. Feeling those sit bones continuing to root down as you inhale. Feel the crown of your head lifting up towards the sun. Just like you're planting your roots and growing your spine to blossom up through the crown of your head. And bring the hands to touch, palm to palm in front of your heart. Taking a moment to recognize the intention that brought you to practice yoga this morning. Making yourself, we're doing the hardest part, which is showing up. So from here, we're going to tune in to our vibrations as a community. We're going to tune in with the mantra of Om. Really simple. It's not about how you sound. It's just about letting yourself release, open up to a new vibration of energy. So if you choose to just listen, you can just listen as well. So starting right here, hands to the heart, we'll take a cleansing breath first. In through the nose, open mouth. Exhale. Inhale again, this time on the exhale, Om. Once again, inhale, exhale to Om. Your eyes closed. Take your thumbs and lift them up to the center of your forehead, your third eye, acknowledging the seed of wisdom within, allowing it to guide you through this intuitive practice. And then exhale, release the hands. Go ahead and make your way into tabletop, finding your hands and knees on the mat, wrists stacked underneath the shoulders, knees under the hips. Let's move with our breath through cat-cow here. As you inhale, drop the belly button, arch your spine, look up. And then as you exhale, tuck the chin, tuck the tailbone, round the upper back. Again, inhale, belly drops, gaze comes up. Exhale, chin and tailbone tuck. Move through a few more of these on your own, finding the rhythm of your breath this morning, starting to wake up the spine. They say we are as young as our spine is flexible. So this practice is really centered around our spine, the health of our spine. So that's why we call the poses postures. We're learning how to stand and move mindfully in the spine. One more round on your own, moving with your breath. And then finding a neutral spine, a nice flat back here, and pause. Gazing down between the hands. Notice if the shoulders are up by the ears, pull them back. A gentle engagement in the belly button, so you're not sagging in the low back. You're staying nice and long, again, in the spine. And then begin to take the right leg and extend it back behind you. You can keep the toes on the earth for stability, or lift it to activate balance. Flex the right foot. Toes are facing down to the mat. Keep that right hip rotating down. Belly staying engaged here. Breathe. And then left arm extends out in front of you. Pause. At any point in time, you can touch back down with that left hand. So we notice what goes on as we move through these postures. There's vessels for us to explore our experience. Take another inhale here. And as you exhale, just release. Right knee, left hand. Take a cat-cow. Let's reset the spine. Inhale the belly down, gaze up. Exhale, chin tucks, rounds. Back into a neutral spine, tucking the tailbone, belly drawing in. And then you're going to take the left leg and extend it back. Activate the toes, flex them down to the earth. Connect to your breath, let it fill the vessel of this shape. And then left arm is going to, or right arm, sorry, is going to reach forward. The left arm would be really tricky. Yeah. We do some tricky stuff in here, but I'd like to see that. All right, take another inhale, really extending long through the right fingertips, left heel. And then as you exhale, replace right hand, left knee. Take another cat-cow here, one more time, moving in the spine. And then we'll take the hips to the heels, find child's pose. Knees can come as wide as your mat. Big toes touch. Extending the arms out in front of you. Planting the third eye down into the earth, getting grounded here. Again, we notice the distractions. And they help to facilitate us to get a little more still. Knowing that you can come back to this place, this child's pose at any time to re-ground yourself, to reset your intention for being here, to rest, to restore. To activate in the hands, come up onto the palms. We're going to shift into downward facing dog. Tuck your toes under, hips lift up and back. So you're creating an upside down V with your body here. The hips are the high point of that mountain. And then walk out your legs. Bend one knee, press the opposite heel down. Just waking up, bringing some movement in. Spread the fingers wide. And then settle into a neutral space with the legs. Both heels are actively extending down towards your mat. And then bring a generous bend in the back of the knees. And as you bend the back of the knees, see if you can lift the sit bones up and back. space to breathe. Notice if you're holding tension in the neck. Let the head fall. Shake the head yes and no. Take one more breath in our first downward dog. In through the nose. Exhale, empty out. And then baby steps. Tiptoe to the top of your mat. Feet meet the hands. However you need to get there. Ragdoll. Feet are hip-width distance or wider, allowing the upper body to soften over the legs. Hands can be dangling to the earth. You can grab opposite elbows. Breathing here. So I want you to bring that ragdoll quality to your upper body. So you're kind of hanging out here. Maybe you kind of wiggle from side to side. Shake out the neck. Again, we're decompressing our spine. So allowing gravity to do most of the work as it just draws the crown of your head closer. Taking one more moment here. If you grab the elbows, let them drop. Keeping a soft bend behind the knees, slowly roll your spine up to standing. So you're rooting through the feet. Shoulders come to stack over. Roll the shoulders back a few times. Wake up. We're going to find our true north, Tadasana pose. Step the feet together, palms opening up. Yeah, if it's uncomfortable together, feet can be slightly apart. Yeah. We're going to bring out the sunshine with our sun salutations this morning. So as you inhale, like rays of the sunshine, reach your arms out, reach them up to the sky, stretch tall. As you exhale, bow forward, hinging from the hips all the way down. Inhale, finding a flat spine. Hands can come up to the thighs to help you out here. Press back and really pull the heart long. It's almost like tug of war, really long heart. And then exhale, bow back down. We're going to do that one more time. So inhale, finding that flat back. On the exhale this time, bring the hands down to the earth. Step your feet to the back of your mat. With or without dropping the knees, find plank pose and pause. Fingers spread. Root into the inner edges of your hands. So the root of your index finger and your thumb, the padding. Yeah. Notice where you're struggling. Can you bring some softness in? Take one more inhale. This time shift forward on the toes. Shoulders come in front of the wrist. Lower down like a solid plank of wood all the way to the mat. We're going to peel the heart up. Inhale. Coming into cobra pose. Stay low. So not a lot of weight in the hands. Feet are rooting down. Belly's drawing up. Exhale, lower. Making your way back to downward facing dog. However you can get there. You can come through plank, tabletop. And then take a few breaths. So one of my teachers always says that we are not human beings doing yoga. We are humans being yoga. So no matter what you're here doing on your mat doesn't determine the yoga practice. Take one more breath here, in and out. Make the journey to the top of your mat, walk, step, or float. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, stretch fingertips to the sky, reaching high like an antenna. Exhale, bowing back down. Inhale, halfway lift, heart long. High plank, exhale. You can lower all the way down again or challenge yourself and try to hover off the mat at the low point. Pause. And then cobra, once again, elbows bent or upward dog. So the arms straighten and the thighs lifted up dog. And then exhale, downward facing dog. So always having options. When we let go of the poses and what they look like being the point of the practice, then we open ourselves up to really listen. Listen to how we react and respond, where we're struggling and bringing in unnecessary tension. Take one more breath here. Empty out. Make the journey to your hands, feet to the top of your mat. Inhale, finding a flat spine, halfway lift. Really pull the heart long. Exhale, bow down, soften the back of the knees. One more time, inhale, reach all the way up. This time on the exhale, bring the palms together in front of your heart. And we're going to sit back in an invisible chair. Sit the hips down, and pause. So let's bring in the attitude like we're sitting in an actual chair. So we're kind of more chilled and, oh my God, this is hard to do this early in the morning. That struggle unnecessarily. Heels are rooted down. Bring the weight of the hips back slightly. Maybe trying to look down and see the toes in front of your knees. Tailbone tucks. You can reach the arms up. Last couple of breaths here. Dig deep. Find your breath. Choose to be soft and non-reactive. One more breath in. With the exhale, bow down. Inhale, halfway lift. Pull the heart long. Exhale, plant the palms. Feet come to the back of the mat. Your choice to take the vinyasa every time. You can lower down or you can just come to downward dog or to child's pose. Listen with it. From your downward facing dog, as you inhale, bring the right heel up behind you. Bend your right knee, begin to open up your hip. That left heel is squared in the center of your foot, still descending towards the mat. Equal weight in both hands, feeling up the bellows of the right rib cage with your breath. Taking one more big full inhale, and as you exhale, we're going to try to bring that right foot all the way forward between the hands. Maybe you kind of wiggle it to get there. Drop the left knee down. We're going to find half crescent lunge. Interlace the hands perhaps and press them forward on your front thigh. Or you can reach your fingertips high up to the sky. We're opening up the front of our left hip flexor. So if we do sit a lot in our lives, we can get super tight in that area. So when we feel something, it's natural for our nervous system to jump into reaction. So this practice, when we hold, we're trying to find a little bit of pause. Can we be a little less reactive at that edge of sensation? Just let it be. One more inhale here. With the exhale, palms down onto the floor. Tuck the left toes under, lift the left knee off of the mat. Pause. We're going to open the right arm up towards the sky, or maybe keeping it on that right thigh, finding a twist. If this is too wobbly, bring the back knee back to the earth again. Be compassionate with what you need. One more inhale. As you exhale, bring the right hand down. Spin the left heel down onto the mat behind you so that it's parallel to the back of your mat. We're going to come into Warrior 2, cartwheeling the arms up. So the left foot, the back foot's parallel to the back of your mat. The right toes are facing straight forward, and then bend your right knee to stack over that right ankle. Pause. Warrior. Root down through the heels, the outer edge of that back foot. And then tuck your tailbone down. Get really long in the spine and find that lift again through the crown of your head. Gaze is over the right fingertips. And in yoga, we use a gaze, we call it drishti, a soft gaze. So imagine, we're in our warrior pose and you're looking intensely at something in the horizon with a softness. So you're looking almost through it. Flip the right palm to face the sky. We're going to reverse the warrior. Left hand to the back leg. Right arm starts to reach up and back. When we stay present, we notice, is the right knee straightening? Oh, rebend it. Keep it there. Stay rooted. Gauge the belly a bit towards the spine. Try to lift up and back. As you inhale, rise, pause. Straighten your right knee. Triangle pose. So pause first. Imagine you're standing up, the back of your head, the back of your hands, the hips are all in a wall. You're going to slide against that wall. And then you just rotate the hands to support you. Right hand down, left arm to the sky. Keep a micro bend in the knees here. And then as you push your right hip forward, you're trying to open that top left hip back. So you're really finding some rotation, even in the rib cage. It's almost like a spinal twist here. Pull the pit of the belly up and in. As you inhale, we're going to come all the way back up into triangle. Turn all 10 toes to face the left side. Keep the legs wide. Hands come onto the hips. Elbows point behind you. Lift your heart, lift your gaze. Inhale. Exhale. Bow forward. Hands come down to support you on the ground. Inhale, find a flat spine. And as you exhale, walk the hands in between your feet to your comfort. Soften the back of the knees, but stay grounded. So we're always balancing these two elements. In yoga, we call them Sira Sukha. So it's the strength and the softness. It's the effort and the ease. So when we're coming into a pose, we come in a lot of times from effort. We're going to do the pose. And then we discover how can we create the ease. Relax the neck. Yeah. On your next inhale, start to walk the hands back forward underneath the shoulders, flat spine, pause, hands to hips. Rise up all the way to standing. Turn your right foot to face the front of your mat once again. Step your left foot about halfway towards the front of your mat. You're going to set up for pyramid pose. So a few helpful tips here is you kind of want to walk that right foot over a little bit so the feet are hip width distance, and you're going to turn your back toes to the front of your mat a little more. So you're trying to square the hips and the shoulders towards me, towards the front. Elbows back, take an inhale. As you exhale, keep the hands on the hips. Begin to descend down. Soften the right knee as much as you need to. If you have really tight hamstrings, take the left hand down onto the ground. Keep your right hand on your hip. Take an inhale. As you exhale, just gently pull that right hip back as you rotate the left hip forward. And then relax the right hand down. But keep the energy as you fold here, trying to keep those hips square. And again, we come to that edge. You know, I hear often, I can't do yoga, I'm not flexible. And I tell people, the less flexible you are, the easier yoga is. Because you get to that point of sensation where you can feel extremely, and you're asked at that moment to find softness and surrender. So ask yourself when you arrive in those places, what does that look like? Sometimes it's in the mind. It's giving ourselves a break. On your next inhale, gaze comes forward. We're going to find a little balance here. Begin to walk the hands forward off of your mat. Balancing on the right foot, left toes are going to lift up to the sky. Standing splits. Pause. Yeah. So peek back if you can at your leg that's in the air, and you want the foot flexed and all 5 toes facing straight down. Yeah, so it's going to drop drastically here. Pause. And then lifting from the back of the heel, inner right thigh, inner left thigh is coming in and up towards the sky. Yeah. One more inhale. And as you exhale, we'll bring both feet to meet at the top of your mat. Walk the feet apart and just take a moment in a forward fold, kind of shaking it out a little bit, reset. And then inhale, find a flat spine, heart long. Exhale, bow. Sit the hips down, chair pose, reach up, sweep up. Exhale, forward fold. Halfway lift on your inhale, let the breath guide you. Step back into high plank on your exhale, vinyasa, or stepping into downward dog. Skip the push-up. Struggle is optional. That's what we learn on our mat. But yet we get in the trap of struggle all the time. Left heel comes to the sky. Bend and open up the left side. Right heel is descending straight down. Spread the fingers, stay rooted in the hands, belly to spine. One more inhale, really reaching up and open through the left side. And then exhale, bringing the left foot. We're going to walk it or step it between the hands. Right knee down. And then rise up. You can interlace the hands and support yourself on the front thigh. You can reach the fingertips to the sky. Notice the intention behind action. The way that we can avoid a struggle. Do we do things because we feel like we should? I always say don't should all over yourself. Yeah? Are we doing things because we're what we need here? So if it's struggle to have the arms up, honor that. One more inhale. Stay here, exhale. Bring the hands down onto the ground. On your next inhale, tuck the right toes, lift the right knee, pause. Left arm is going to peel up to the sky or support you on that left thigh into a twist. Again, if it's too wobbly to get the twist, drop the knee. We want to focus our energy on what we're doing in our spine. And obviously with our breath. So let's breathe. Each pose is a vessel for our breath. We dilate the breath into the shape. One more inhale. And then we deflate. Exhale, left hand down. Pause. Right heel comes to the earth. Your back foot's parallel the back of your mat. Warrior 2, we're going to rise up, stacking shoulders over hips. Left toes are straight forward. Bend into the left knee so that the ankle is directly underneath the knee. The back right foot is parallel the back of your mat. So notice if you're reaching forward and your shoulders are way out in front of the hips, or if you're reaching back, or if your shoulders are right over your hips. You want to stack those shoulders right over the hips. Tailbone tucks. Bring your shoulders back. Bring the shoulder back. There you go. And then flip your left palm. Reverse your warrior like you're drawing a rainbow across the sky. Breathe. Bend into the left knee if it starts to straighten. Not because we want to have the perfect shape. It's because these poses are here to be tools. Tools for us to unpeel the layers that make us reactive. Let's take one more inhale and exhale here. And then on your next inhale, with a strong belly, pull yourself back up into Warrior 2. Straighten your left knee. And then again, find that wall. Imagine there's a wall behind you. Stand up nice and tall. And we'll begin to come into triangle. Slide forward and down. Left hand anchors on the left shin. Right arm stretches up and open. Keep a micro bend in the knees. All this like soft, this water energy. It's the idea of bringing ease into the effort of our practice. So we pull the muscles, we get strong just like the earth, and then we find softness like water in the knees and the joints. Filling up with air, we're bringing in the essence of that wind, and then the belly's strong, the essence of fire. On your next inhale, rise all the way up. You're going to, this time, turn the right toes to face the back of your mat. Bend both knees into goddess pose, arms into cactus arms. It's also called horse stance. Notice if the knees are caving in. Try to open those knees away from one another. Tailbone tucking under. Draw the low ribs in. That's that fire. Breathe here. Shoulders are soft. Inhale, see if you can go a little deeper. Exhale. Take another inhale. Soften in that fire. Straighten the knees on your inhale. Reach the arms out. We're going to fold again with straight legs. Feet are parallel. Hands are going to come to the outer edges of the feet, if that's available, or the shins, or the ankles, or just wide. So feet turning straight forward. Maybe even a little pigeon-toed. The heels a little wider than the toes. Encouraging us to lift and open those sit bones. So even in the poses that seem more passive for some of us, we can create an edge for ourselves to play with when we notice ourselves getting too comfortable. Like here, can you shift weight towards the balls of your feet until you're like, oh my gosh, I might fall, and then root the heels back down. You learn to trust your intuition. And then starting to take the hands down and underneath the shoulders, walk them forward, inhale. As you exhale, hands to your hips, rise all the way to standing on your next inhale. We'll set up for pyramid pose. Left toes face forward. Right foot steps about halfway up your mat and widen those feet just a little bit. You're facing towards me, so drawing both hips towards me. That right back foot's going to turn forward to facilitate that. Once you have shoulders and hips stacked towards the front of your mat, inhale. You're going to exhale. Begin to fold down over the left leg. This is a pretty intense hamstring stretch, so keep a micro bend behind that knee. Right hand comes down. Keep the left hand hooked on the hip and pause. Pull that left hip back. Right hip comes forward. Heart reaches down towards the ground. And then relax both hands down. I say relax. It just means to bring in that energy. You know, I used to sometimes get frustrated when I would be in an intense space, feeling something on my mat, and my teacher would say, let it go. I'm like, but I can't just let it go. My hip is really tight and it hurts and it's burning, or my hamstring. So what you let go of is your need for it to be any other way. That's where the struggle comes in. It's not in what's happening, it's in how we react. Actually take the gaze forward as you inhale. Walk the hands forward, shifting weight into the left foot. Right leg's going to lift up off the mat. Finding a little bit of balance. And again, not worrying about what it looks like for you. Are you finding an edge? Are you finding a space to explore something new? Taking one more full breath in. And then letting the right foot descend, exhale. Both feet to the top of your mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise all the way up to standing. And then bring the hands together at the heart center. Pause. Feeling yourself again, standing on both feet. And then begin to shift the weight of your body into your left foot and start to lift that right heel. We're finding tree pose. For the most basic tree, you open up the right knee and you put the ankle or the heel on your ankle. So it's like a kickstand. You can start here or you just lift the foot off the floor, finding it on your ankle or your calf or anywhere up on your leg. Just try to avoid pressing directly on the inside of your knees. Just so we can keep our knees nice and tree pose. Bring in the element of roots. Try to keep your toes light, not weight. Yeah, we grip on our toes. Breathe here. You can stay here. You can reach your arms up, growing your branches up and out. The beautiful thing about balancing poses is there's always an edge. So when you find it and you're like, I'm beautiful at this perfect tree, challenge yourself to get messy. So find a space for you that struggle. Maybe close your eyes or take your gaze up. Or try to take it into a little back bend, lifting the heart. Find a space. We all are in the same energy. We're in that moment where we might fall and it's okay. One more breath. Exhale. Release the right foot down. Shake out the standing leg. And we'll set ourselves up to go to the other side. So bring the hands at your heart center, rooting into both feet to start. This time you'll start to shift the weight into the right foot, left heel to ankle to start, or coming anywhere up into the inside of that left or the right leg. That drishti gaze is helping to keep us centered here. Yeah, and you're all listening. It's organic. You lift your arms up. Grow them up and out. Finding the roots through your standing foot, through that standing leg. Engage. Belly to spine, fire up. And then reach up and open. Find space for something new. Try on messy. Try on something that feels scary, of not looking good, or not what you think you should do. One more inhale, finding that edge. And then exhale. Let's release it all down to the earth. Shake it out. Shake it all out. And then feet come back to the top of your mat. Inhale, extend 10 fingers up to the sky. Bow down, exhale, fingertips to the mat. Finding a long, flat spine, halfway lift. Step back to high plank and pause. Once again, high plank, pause, breathe. So when we come to these challenging poses, this is where we dig deep. Suffering is for the weak. We are strong-willed. Yeah, we can choose the high road. It's gonna burn. It's gonna be difficult. We continue to breathe anyway. Don't suspend your energy on struggle. One more inhale. As you exhale, lower all the way to your belly. Come to lying on your mat. Right ear finds the ground, turning the head to the side. Hands come back by the hips. Belly down, Shavasana. So bringing just a few moments of surrender. You can feel the reflection of your breath and your heartbeats and your mats. Open up our hearts, starting with locust pose. Start to bring the head back towards center. Flip the palms so that they're facing down to the concrete or to the mats. And then on your inhale, just peel the heart up like you're coming into cobra, and then peel the legs up, and then lift the hands. Spread your fingers and reach them back. I like to imagine I'm like an arrowhead here, and my heart is the front of that arrow, and it's going forward, forward, forward. And then iron out the wrinkles in the back of your neck. So allow the neck to be long instead of cranking it up. And then notice the energy that you're suspending here. Belly draw up, inhale, and then exhale. Go ahead and release it down. Left ear to the mat. Any comfortable arm position as you take another few moments of rest, of reflection. Going to take that back bend once again. If you want to intensify a bit, you can interlace the hands behind your back to get a little deeper shoulder stretch. Bringing the head back to neutral. As you inhale, peel the heart up, peel the legs up, and then press or pull the fingertips back or press the knuckles back. If you're interlacing the hands, generous bend in the elbows. Keep the elbows bent, work the triceps towards the sky. So maybe you find a little steeple in your index finger that'll keep your hands together. Yeah. Keep those elbows soft. One more inhale. Reach, reach, reach. Belly draws up and in. Lower down. Bring your hands under the shoulders. Press the hips to heels. Finding yourself back into child's pose. Noticing the journey so far this morning. Honoring that inner wisdom that got you out of bed this morning and guided you to your mat to show up, to plug into yourself. I'm starting to come to seated. You're going to walk the hands in, just shifting the hips to one side, however you can get there. We're just going to come to sitting back on our sits bones. Bringing the soles of the feet to the earth, the knees to the sky. We're going to build a little more fire in a boat pose. So you're going to take the hands behind the knees. We're going to do a little magic first. Start to walk the feet in as you lean back, and you're magically, the feet are going to start to hover. Oh, yeah, it happens. All right, and now bring your shins up, parallel to the earth. Lift the heart. Imagine you have a string lifting up the center of your heart, shoulders back. So we want to feel this in our belly. So if you're feeling it more in your hip flexors, maybe take your torso a little away from your thighs. Oh yeah, turning on. You can keep the support or reach the hands out. All right, are you breathing? Are you struggling? Let's smile. We're in boats. We're in a boat. We're all in boats, yeah? It's great. Taking one more inhale in. As you exhale, drop the feet, hug the knees round the back. And then lifting the heart. So we're going to do that one more time. So hands come behind the knees. Start to lean yourself back. Finding yourself in whatever variation is challenging yet manageable. So we don't want to try too hard. Sometimes it's better to try easy. Zip the belly in. Maybe the hands come out. Ask yourself, what is the expression on your face? Are you furrowing your brow, clenching your jaw? Allow the breath to soften. One more inhale. And then exhale, knees down. Round the back, hug the knees. So you're going to take the hands behind you. Fingertips either facing opposite directions if you've got tighter shoulders, or you can try to face the feet with the fingertips. We're going to take reverse tabletop. Start to lift up the hips towards the sky. Rolling the shoulders back, lift the hips, trying to get the hips in line with the knees. Maybe the throat opens up and the head falls back. Maybe that's not comfortable, no big deal. Take one more inhale. And then as you exhale, bring your hips down onto the earth. Pause. Keeping the feet just as they are, you're going to bring the right ankle on top of your left knee. You're going to keep the hands behind you. So this is another place where there's a lot of different places you can go. We're all going to experience the pose different. If this is even difficult, no worries. Just straighten that extended leg and sit up here. This is a great stretch. If you're here, you're going to try to bring the heel in closer to get deeper. Bring your hips in closer. But again, keep sitting up tall. So there's a tendency for us to round in the upper back here. Try to stay lifted. So you're leaning back into the hands. Activate through the right toes. Flex the foot, and you're feeling a little bit of energy at that right knee pressing away from the body. Sitting up tall and then breathing. So in this new vessel, in this new experience, allow yourself to bring in that energy of openness. So just as we're lifting up our heart, we don't have to tense up our shoulders. Yeah. And then we'll release and find the other side. Bring the right foot down, left ankle on right knee. And just because you went one place on the other side doesn't mean you'll go there on this side. Start over. Explore. Try to bring the hips and the heel closer together. Keep lifting through the heart. Activate your left foot. Finding that balance between effort and ease. So from the outside, it's hard to know the true essence of yoga. Because you can do these fancy poses and look like you're doing yoga, but if it's not pure, the intention in your heart and between your ears of why you're doing the pose. My teacher says, we can show up and do sun salutations and meditate until we're blue in the face, and then all we'll be is blue in the face, unless we have the right heart behind it, unless we show up willing to see what's new. Take one more breath here. And go ahead and release the leg. Extend both of your legs straight out in front of you. Kind of move the flesh away from your sit bones and get rooted once again really strong through both of your sit bones. Toes are facing up towards the sky. Bring the hands by the hips for staff pose. So you use the hands are on the earth like two scaffoldings. They're like helping to hold your spine really long, really tall. Roll the shoulders back, belly in. You knew sitting was so difficult, right? Sit up nice and tall. Feeling that length coming from the crown of your head. One more inhale. And then soften the back of your knees away from the mat. Exhale, bow forward, flood down over the legs. So since we're working with the spine here, I would rather see bent knees to get a straight back than to try to keep straight legged and bending your back. So if you need to bend those knees even more, bend the knees up to the chest and keep pulling that heart long. Soften the shoulders. Let the head hang. Just a few more breaths. Each breath dilates and softens some of that residue here, residue of resistance and reaction, struggle. Long, full, deep breath in and out. On your next inhale, begin to sit upright. As you exhale, roll down, lie on your back. Bring the knees in towards your chest and give your knees a big hug. Hug them in. Rock a little side to side. Love, love, love. And then bring the soles of your feet to the sky. We're going to find happy baby. You're going to bend the knees towards your armpits. Reach to the insides of your legs and either grab your thighs or your feet, wherever you can reach. And you're bending the knees, kind of letting gravity pull the knees down. You can rock from side to side. Have a little buoyancy here, a little joy. The Sanskrit name for this pose translates to wind releasing pose. So that's why the baby's happy. I really like that one. So yeah, so we wanted to bring a little of that joyful energy. We don't take that childlike energy very often into our lives with the seriousness of everything. Sometimes it's good to laugh at yourself. And then go ahead and bring the knees back together into the chest. Bring your arms out into a tear. If you're super close to your neighbor, maybe taking cactus arms. And then the knees are going to fall over to the left side. Just let them fall over towards the earth. That right shoulder may peel up. Try to keep opening it down. Maybe the gaze is up to the sky. Or you can look over that right shoulder. And it's complete surrender here. So you're letting your body be a vessel for breath. And then you're letting all effort be surrendered to gravity. Gravity's doing the work in the spinal twist. A few more moments here. Bringing out our practice, preparing ourselves for the most important pose of all. Drawing your knees up through center and take them over to the right side. Again, the gaze can be up to the sky or you can take it over the left shoulder. Letting gravity support you here. Deep breaths and form. Release here. Begin to inhale again. Start coming back into center. Draw the knees up in towards your chest. Nose towards your knees. Coming back to that intention that brought you here. And give yourself a big squeeze. Love yourself for doing the work. And then release out into Shavasana. The most challenging of all the postures. Yeah, it's true. You start to study yoga history, the asana is a the posture is a very, very small part. And most of what we associate with the physical practice has really only been around for a couple hundred years, as opposed to the thousands and thousands of years that yoga was explored as a meditative practice. As life got more complex, it required us to create a system to get us prepared and open to really receive the benefits of this meditation. We use the postures as these vessels of exploration so that when we arrive here, we have the tools necessary to stay centered. To not get caught up in our reactions to the thoughts that distract us. To choose to come back time and again to the breath. The beautiful, bountiful, life-giving breath. As you lie here the last few moments, use the distractions, the sensations, the sounds around you, inside of you, as the essence of your meditation. Allow them to be tools to bring you back. Begin to ground yourself back into your body. Moving in the fingers and toes in appreciation. We love our bodies are not us. In yoga we call it the meat suit. So it's just a meat suit that our soul wears around for a while, but it does some pretty amazing things. Start to reach your arms overhead. Find a full body stretch. Like it's the first stretch you've taken all day. Fingers to toes. And then knees into the chest. Let your body cocoon in and roll over to the right side. Once again, surrender to gravity. Allow it to support you. Appreciate it for supporting you and being there for you. And this is I call this the OG yoga pose. We all came from. It's a reminder that yoga is not what we do, it's who we are. Your eyes closed and find your way up to seated. If you need some visual assistance, you can open them up and then close them back up. Full circle back to where we began. So I'd like to close this practice with a little mantra that is one of my favorites. It's very simple, and to give you a little bit of idea of mantra. So mantra is a Sanskrit word. Man means mind and tra means wave. So at the end of the day, mantras is a mind wave. So many of us chant mantra all day long, and they're not always self-serving. We chant mantras that we're not good enough, that there's not enough time. Whatever the thoughts are that we think over and over again, we're creating those vibrations as energy. So by using the language of Sanskrit, which is a very energetic vibrational language, we are going to chant the mantra Wahe Guru. So Wahe is just a celebration. Woohoo! Kind of like that. And Guru is that which takes us from the darkness of ignorance into the light of understanding. So in essence, we are our own Guru. So we're celebrating ourselves and our ability to go on this journey, to wake up and to realize the wisdom that resides within. Bring the hands together at your heart center. So whether or not you choose to join me when I invite you in, you will still get the benefits of the vibrations of this community, just listening. This first round I'll sing, and then I'll invite you to sing along with me. Wahe, 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 guru, inhale. If you feel inclined, sing from your heart. We'll start from the top. Inhale. Wahe, 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 guru, keep your hands at the hearts. We're going to take 3 ohms to settle in and close out our practice. Cleanse yourself out first, in through the nose. Open mouth, exhale. Inhale to Om. Reach your arms up to the sky like a funnel, like you're funneling the energy of the universe all the way down into your own heart, reaching arms into that V shape. We're going to keep them here for our next Om. Inhale. To let that energy back in your heart, we'll take one last inhale, palms at your heart center. Breath in. Just take a moment. Notice the energy, the space, the vibrations within, the effects of this practice. Letting them settle in your heart and realization that this practice doesn't end once we step off the 4 corners of our mats. That we can take this practice with us to become less reactive, to find that balance, to release the struggle. Take your thumbs to your third eye and acknowledge that inner guru, the wisdom that resides within, behind all the layers of resistance we've built up. From this beautiful space of light, love, and wisdom, I acknowledge the space in each of you. Let's honor one another. Namaste. Awesome. Give yourself a hand. You guys did amazing, amazing. Tobin Center for having us, University Health Systems for making it free and sponsoring it for you guys. We'll be here once a month, pretty much through the end of the season, so keep an eye out on our schedule. For those that are new to Mobile Home, if you have any questions, come see me. If you want to get a double dose of yoga in today, we do have a full moon class going on tonight on the A Street Bridge at 8 p.m. It's really beautiful. All of our classes are canceled tomorrow, but we do classes every single day all around downtown area, outside. Most of them are outside. So come and see me if you have any questions or if you just want to introduce yourself. And I hope you have a great rest of your weekend. Oh, and if you didn't sign in, come and sign in back here with Katie in the back, please, just to get your little liability thing. Thank you guys so much.
I think it is. I'm like, is that yours or is that mine? I don't have it. It's yours.